Welcome to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please click the subscribe button, then click the notification bell, so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, relationship advice, and lifestyle. And if this is not your first time visiting my channel, well, welcome back, my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. Welcome to all of my new fabulous ones, and welcome back to the fabulous ones that have been with me. Welcome. So I am in Las Vegas in my hotel room, and I stepped in to bring you the review of the 90-Day Fiance seasons 11, episode 14 through 18. Okay, so we got a lot to cover, so I'm just going to be real brief on each couple. Okay, so the first couple we're going to talk about is Stevi and Madhi. So the last time we talked, they were going on their bachelorette and bachelor party together. Stevi's friend put something together for them. They end up going to some type of club, a burlesque club or something like that. And it was too much for Madhi. But before they got there, Stevi had a conversation with Madhi and said, if it's too much for you, just let me know and we can leave. So they get there, and his friend Saeed is there as well. And Saeed is looking like, why would they bring him here? The lady took off her shirt, and she had these tassels on her nipples, and he just lost his mind. And I didn't understand that, because this man comes from Iran, and he can't even go to the health club with women. So what makes you think he's going to want to see a show like this? It was just plain stupid at the end of the day. So he got up and he left, and Stevie was looking all crazy. And so she got up and she went with him, followed him, and she said, I told you, we agreed that if it was too much for you, then you would let me know and we would both leave. And he said, I know. He said, but it was just too much. I don't understand why you guys even brought me here. So everybody ended up leaving, and they go to this restaurant, and that's what they should have just done in the first place. Just go out to eat it and have some drinks and call it a day. And so I don't think that Madhi was even used to drinking, but they go out for drinks, and the friend Saeed started talking to Stevi and was like, don't you think you kind of rushing it? You guys have 2 months on the visa. Why rush it? Get to know each other better. And it just agitated her, and I don't blame her. I mean, they're on their bachelor night, and this is what this man is saying. I understand that Madhi shared with him some concerns. But that doesn't mean he has to be all in their business. Because when people get married, sometimes they have cold feet and they just start saying things. And at the end of the day, if he really believes that she's bisexual, then he got that choice not to marry her. Nobody's putting a gun to his head. And Stevie got him straight. Stevie was like, listen, I don't think we rushing it. We love each other. He knows me and I know him. And we want to get married. And so he was looking all stupid. And then Madhi said he felt bad because he knows his friend is acting like that on the things that he said. So he said, first of all, I want to apologize to everybody because I feel like I ruined the night. It was a little bit too much, but I hate that I ruined it. And everybody was like, no, you didn't. And Stevie felt good that he had just apologized. And Saeed is like, why is he apologizing to her? She had no business her friends taking him to a place like that. He shouldn't be the one apologizing. And I'm saying to myself, honey, mind your business. No matter what this man has said, he decided to marry her, and you just need to leave it alone. They ended up, everybody going their own ways, and Stevie and Madhi had a conversation, and he said that he feels bad because some of the reasons why his friend was acting like that from what he had told him. So Stevie was like, well, what did you tell him? Well, I told him some things I thought that about you being bisexual. And she was like, oh, so you told him that? And so he said, well, you really never did really give me an answer. And at the end of the day, I have nobody here. He's the only person I know other than you. You really all I have. Your family is going to be my family. I left my family behind. I left my friends behind. And I get lonely and I want to talk and I know I can't really tell you everything. And so her heart felt bad. She was like, well, she knows he sacrificed a lot, leaving his family and friends. And so she told him, I understand the sacrifice you made, and perhaps I can be a little bit more understanding with you. And he appreciated her saying that. And so he said, I have to ask, are you bisexual? And she said, I am not bisexual. You're the only person I want. I don't want a woman. I want you. I am not bisexual. I just hope you just quit asking me because I'm telling you the truth. So he said, that's all I wanted to know. You never did just say, no, I'm not. So they end up getting married, and the dad asked, and the dad said, hey, I thought she was going to marry a woman. I thought she was going to be with a woman. And her father had said that several times to lead me to believe, is she really telling the truth? But we're going to have to take her word. So he says, do you really love this man? And she said, I really love him. And so he said, well, I'm going to stand by you then. And I really believe that he loves you too. So he ends up, she looks really nice on her wedding day. And they ended up getting married, and the father walking her down the aisle, and she was like really happy because her father is very sick, and she's glad that he was able to see her get married. And he was like, again, I thought she was gonna be with a woman. So I don't know. Is Madhi really is Stevi really bisexual? I guess we're gonna have to find out in the tell-all. Okay, so the next couple we're going to talk about is Jessica and Juan. So Jessica and Juan, they went out on their bachelorette and bachelor party, and he gets drunk and ends up telling Jessica that he's going to go back and work on the cruise boat. And she was like, how you going to talk to me like this? And you know I've been drinking and saying something so important. I'm not going to talk about this. So the next day, she brings it up, and she was like, I don't appreciate you bringing up something like that after I have been drinking. My thing is, you know how I feel about that? I'm going to stand my ground. If you want to be gone all the time and not spend time with your son, then I don't need you, Khadijah. I'm not marrying somebody that's going to be gone half the time. And you know you're going to be gone half the time. So he was like, well, if we need money, and she said, we doing all right. No, but I have to help, and there's no really good jobs here for me. And so for us to get on our feet and be able to do everything and take some things off of you, I'm going to have to work on the cruise boat. And she said, well, then you know where I stand. If you want to be with me and your son, then you're not working on no cruise boat. So he had to make a decision. And he kind of like felt like she's going to have to deal with it because I'm going to work on the boat. Now, they ended up getting married. I really didn't like her dress, and I really didn't like the colors, the baby blues, and the suit he had on. Oh my God. To me, it just looked a hot mess. But they ended up, people was drinking and they was dancing and having a good time. And he said, okay, this seems like a Hispanic wedding, okay? This is the type of wedding. It turned out to be the type of wedding that he wanted because it was a lot of dancing and everybody was having a good time and everybody had drinks and all of the things. And so they ended up getting married, but we're going to have to see at the tell-all, is he really going to go back to the boat after she gave him an ultimatum? But she married him. So is he really still going to go back to the boat? We'll have to wait and see. The cruise boat. We'll have to wait and see. So that's basically what happened with them. The next couple we're going to talk about is going to be with Greg and Joan. Okay, so Greg got a job, and Joan was like so happy. He took her to New York, okay, to celebrate his job. So when he got back and all the things, it was time for him to go to work, and the mother was making his lunch, and they was fussing over him. She was making breakfast, and they was making sure he got off safely, and she was like, have a great day, and walking him to the door, and he on the drive was saying he haven't really worked a job in a long time. Will he be okay with the co-workers? Are they going to get along? And just how is the job going to go? So he ended up having a whole day of work. I guess it went okay. And Joan was telling him that she was proud of him and all of the things. He ended up saving enough money to pay her diary off, whatever it's called, the diary off. And she was so proud of him that he was able to do that, because he said, now we can get married. And what I like about Lucille, let me back it up. When he went off to work, Joan needed to get her wedding dress taken up. And so the mother, Lucille, promised her she would drive her around and all the things while her son was at work to get her ready for the wedding. So she drives her to get her wedding dress taken off, and she's taken up or taken in. And she told her, do you want me to come in and help you? And she was like, no, my family, they're going to be there. I'm going to be talking with them, streaming with them. And so it's going to be just my family, but thank you. And Lucille felt a certain way, but she had to understand this is a moment for her family. Her family's not going to be at the wedding. And it's a moment for her sisters and mother to see her in her dress. And it's a private moment. And so Lucille, she was a little bit upset about it, but she joked and said, payback is a bitch. And so the mother and sisters, they loved the dress. They cried. And she was like, I want to get it taken tighter so when I twerk, you can see my butt. And it was just a beautiful moment with the sisters. And they was just sorry they wasn't going to be able to be there, but they were really happy for Joan. So they get to the wedding, and it was like so nice. They had African food and African dancers. And that was like their bachelor thing. Actually, that was the bachelorette party she had to go to with Lucille. They went to a strip joint, and she kind of felt uncomfortable with the mother-in-law. And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But at the wedding, they had African dancers. Joan looked absolutely beautiful. Her makeup was gorgeous. She looked gorgeous. The dress looked gorgeous. And I have to give it to Lucille and her ex-husband, because they really did a good job on the wedding. The wedding was really nice. I liked how they had the African dancers and made her feel at home and tried to add her culture in the wedding. And so it was so nice. And they did a great job. And they're so happy, Joan and Greg, and I think they're going to do well. Only thing I hope is that Greg keeps his job. So we have to see in the tell-all, is he going to really keep his job? We'll have to wait and see. So then the next couple we're going to talk about is Mark and Mina. So Mina's sister comes to town, and she shows her the dress. She tries the dress on. It's beautiful. The sister gives her a necklace with a pendant of inside was her parents. And then she gave her a pearl necklace to put on with her dress. It was a really touching moment. It was a beautiful moment that they shared with one another. Her and her sister are very close. And so she ends up taking her back to her house, showing her her home, showing her where they keep the plane and her home. And the sister was like, oh my God, it's a beautiful home, but it's surrounded by a lot of woods. It's a lot of green here, a lot of green. And she knows that her sister is a city girl and not used to being in the country. But Mark was like, this is where we at. This is where I like to live. but she told you had a beautiful home. And so it turned out that the son couldn't come. He still had problems with the visa. So Mina was pretty sad about it. For a moment, Mark didn't think that she would get married. But she realized, as he said, if you back out now and go home, you're not coming back. So trust and believe, I'm going to do everything I can to try to speed it up and get him here. So she ends up signing the prenup, and he ends up adopting her child, signing the papers for adoption. And so I'm just really happy for Mina and Mark. I think that Mark is a good guy. He genuinely loves her. He signed those adoption papers, and she signed the prenup. The daughter, Jordan, was like, well, she signed the prenup. Okay, well, she's not bad. She's not bad after all. All of a sudden, she's okay. She can deal with her. And so I just feel like Jordan also said, if she have another baby, that's when I'm having a problem with her. She got a lot of nerve saying that about her father's wife. I feel like she's going to be a problem. The whole family is going to be a problem. Because they all worry about Mark's money. They want their hands in the money. And it's just, he needs to really keep his family out of his business. But anyway, they end up getting somebody to do her hair and makeup and all of the things. Her dress was beautiful. A lot of people talked about her wig that she had on that looked like it had a helmet. She had a helmet on with her hair back. And it did. But when she put it down, I guess it looked fine. I thought her dresses, she had two dresses that were beautiful. I just felt like she should have had a bra on. Maybe wanted to push her breast up. But other than that, her makeup was flawless, and she did look really nice. And they ended up getting married, and Mark, before he got married, he was shaving and nicked his face. And so he had a band-aid, a little piece of something, paper on his face that looked real tripped out, honey. He looked tripped out. But he dressed up in his tux and everything, and they were so happy when they was able to get married, and I just am happy for them. He said it's been a long time coming. The reception, they danced, they had a good time. The family got together. They all were having a great time, which I'm happy about. I just think that she's going to have problems with that family. But we have to wait and see what happens. Will the family sit up and act a fool again with Mina? We have to find out on the tell-all. Okay, so the next couple we're going to talk about is the throuple. And that is Matt, Annie, and Amina. Okay, so the last we talked, Matt and Amina contacted Annie's ex-boyfriend. When they saw him, they were surprised that he looked the way he looked. He was just an average looking man. And he was running his mouth, letting them know that her name was Brenda and not Annie, and that she was still married. So they called her on the phone, and she gets to the restaurant, and to her surprise, she saw her ex sitting there, and she knew that the jig was up, honey. They said, oh, hello, Brenda. Immediately, she started crying. So Amina was like, why is she crying? Is she crying because she got busted? Yeah, that's why she crying. And so she tried to explain, well, my ex-husband, he doesn't really know where I am, and I had to have a restraining order. Annie is like part of my middle name. Girl, the girl was just talking a lot of garbage, honey. Lies. And so she said, wait a minute, so are you still married? No, I'm not married. Well, he said you was married. And she said, why would you say that? I am not married. I don't understand why you said that. And so, honey, he was back paddling. Well, I don't know if she's married or not. I thought she said she's not married. She's not married. I misunderstand. I'm an older man. And they was looking at him like, man, you lying. He was like, if she says she's not married, I'm going to say she's not married. Don't pay no attention to me. So she said, why didn't you tell us your real name? Well, I was going to say it, but you're always so mean to me. You're always so mad, and I don't want you to be mad, and I'm just sick of arguing with you. So she was like, listen, I'm tired. This was a long day, and it's a lot that just happened. Let's just go back to the hotel, and we'll talk about this tomorrow and get some sleep. So Matt and Amina go back to the hotel. When they get outside, they both are like, wow, we just learned a lot. What more we don't know about. So the next day, Annie, she comes and she wants to talk about it. And she was like, I know, I own that. I did not tell the truth. That's the last thing that I lied about. And she was crying. And it's just that my ex, I have restraining orders out on him, and I don't want him to know where I am. I have my papers. I am divorced. It took a minute for me to get my divorce, but I am divorced. So they was like, okay, all right, well, I'm sorry you're going through all of that. But she was like, I promise you, I have no more lies. So bottom line is, they all start talking about her coming to the United States. And she will have to get married. So Amina was like, you need to make a decision on if you want to marry me or do you want to marry Matt. It's totally your decision. Whatever you decide to do is going to be okay with us. So Amina really was hoping that Annie would pick her. She said because in her culture, in her country, being bisexual was not accepted, and she had to hide who she was. And now that she's free, she wanted to be able to be herself, and if she wanted to marry a woman, she wanted to marry a woman, and she hopes that Annie chooses her. But Annie makes her decision, and it was Matt, and she gave Matt a kiss and said, I choose you. And when I say Amina was pissed, you could see smoke coming out of her ears, honey. She was pissed. And she felt like, I don't understand why she didn't pick me. Well, first of all, you told her she's able to pick whoever she wanted to pick. Now, I had said from the beginning, this woman wanted a wife. I really believe she's probably more with a woman than she is with a man, but she had her children. She married this man and eventually told him that she was bisexual. I think she wants to be the man for a man and a man for the woman. She wants to be the man and she wants a woman. She wants a wifey. And so she was like, well, of course I'm disappointed. And Andy was like, I can see you are already upset. Well, I'm just curious to know, why did you not pick me? And she said, because just like right now, I can see that you're angry because I didn't choose you. But you asked me to pick who I wanted to pick. You're always upset. You're always... And I'm tired of it. So, honey, she then finds out later that Amina put a stop on her payment on her rent. And that just really made her go over the cuckoo's nest. Annie was just let her have it. Annie was like, listen, I'm done. I'm not your property. You do not own me. You cannot tell me what to do. You cannot boss me. I'm done with both of y'all, okay? Because you have, as just really low for you to put a stop payment on my rent because I didn't choose you. Girl, bye. I don't need you. And so she was like, that's not what happened. That is what happened. That is what happened. In fact, I don't even want to talk to you. You know, you talk down to me all the time. You talk all crazy to me, and I'm sick of it. And so she asked her husband, am I like that? And of course, she pay his way, okay? She take care of him, so he's not going to go against his wife. So he was like, well, no, exactly. Well, this is not going to work out. And she was like, can we at least talk? I don't have nothing to talk to you about. That's it. So she was like, I am sorry you feel that way. That's not what happened. You know what? You a stripper, and I would never sell my body. I would never be on a pole and have children. You know, that's just the type of woman you are. You know, you're nothing. And and he was like, there it is. That's what I'm talking about. Forget you. I don't need you. You have a problem. You have a problem. And so she was like, I don't have a problem. She said, you have a problem, and I'm done talking to you. So her husband was trying to calm her down, but Annie went on about her way. So that's how that ended. Are they going, at the reunion, at the tell-all, are they going to have a conversation? Or are they just going to be gone through with each other? It was stupid anyway. I really don't think that Annie really looked at them to really come to the United States. It was a job. The woman don't have no money. To me, Amina took advantage of this woman that didn't have any money, and she was treating her like her property, and she did think that she was nothing. And so I'm glad Annie said, oh, bye-bye. I don't need you. Okay, so the last couple we're going to talk about is Alliya and Sean. So at the end of the day, Alliya was saying she don't know if she really want to go how far she want to go with surgery, but she do want to have surgery. She wants to get her face, make it more feminine, and she wants to get breasts, and she wants a butt. And mind you, Sean is paying for all of this. He's flipping the bill. So he's saying he really don't know how he's going to feel with her, and he's just hoping she don't have a sex change, because then he knows it's not going to work out. That's not what he wants. And so she's feeling like she don't, insecure, that she don't know really what's going to happen with them. But they're getting married. They say they're getting married. And so bottom line is, his mother had hurt herself and needed to go to the hospital. But she wanted to see them get married. And at the end of the day, he had people to help Alliya so that she won't take all day. So she had the wedding coordinator was helping her get ready. So they had people helping her get ready because he wanted her to not be late. His mother needed to go to the hospital, but she wanted to make sure she saw them get married. And do you know they had to set up and waited 10 hours, 2 hours? 2 hours everybody was waiting on her. And it's not like they had a big wedding. It's not like she came out and had this big old dress. I mean, she's a young girl, so I never seen a person getting married in a dress like that, but she was basically naked underneath. And her dress was sheer. A lot of people were saying they didn't like her wig, they didn't like her makeup, that she just looked like she did everything herself. And she took 2 hours. Now, she knew something happened with the mama, and she needed to go to the doctor. She didn't stop and say, well, is she okay? I'm going to hurry it up. Or tell the people to hurry it up. No, she took her time and said, this is my day, and I don't care if it's your mama that's sick. I don't care if she needs to go to the hospital. She going to wait on me because this is my day. And by every minute she was late, Sean was pissed, okay, to the 10th power. He finally went in there and said, look at here, girl, you better bring your behind on out of here now, unless it's not going to be no wedding. This is ridiculous. So she comes out, and they've hurried the song on, so she really didn't have much to come out on. He told the pastor, don't go through none of this. Just say, read us our rights so we can say we do. This wedding is going to be that fast. I want it that fast. So she's looking all stupid and feeling stupid because the wedding, he sped the wedding up. And that's basically what they said. the person read them their marriage rights, and they said I do, and that was it. They went on over to sit down and eat, and they made a toast, and he said, well, if she would have came out here earlier, then this wouldn't be this way. I mean, he was angry. The mother felt a certain way as well, you know. But she said she looked beautiful. And so she, you know, Alliya felt uncomfortable on her wedding day because Sean was very upset. It didn't last long. They ate and he didn't say much. And she looked like she wanted to cry. She did eventually apologize, which she should have. Because I'm sorry, to be 2 hours late to come out is crazy. It really is. And then you had help. So he basically said when they got home, you know, the next day, he was like, I'm a very, very generous man. But what you did was selfish. You had no compassion for my mother, and you didn't care about your guest. And that says a lot. And bottom line is, he feel like if this is who she is, he don't want to be with her. He already feel like he made a mistake. He was pissed off to the 10th power. And she was like, well, you know, I do apologize. I do. Now, I can see it's your wedding day and you want to take your time. But 2 hours late, and then you know his mama is not well. She hurt herself. But now he got to remember, she only 25 years old, honey. And she don't know no better. So I think he was a little bit hard on her, to be honest with you, because she only 25 years old. And she don't know no better. And she wanted the marriage of her. She wanted to look a certain way. She's really into her looks. I think two hours, I will agree, was too long and too crazy. But he really made her feel this small. And she is a younger person. And so he should have gave her just a little bit of grace on his wrath. So I really don't think that this marriage is going to work out. I think, first of all, it's a big age difference. And I think that she's young and she really doesn't know how far she wants to go with becoming the woman that she really wants to be. And I think that, of course, money plays a part. This man has a lot of money. But I really don't think it's going to work out. So it was kind of sad on somebody's wedding day to be that pissed off. I think that he should have just said, I don't like this. That was really rude. And he should have put it on the back burner for another day. Let her enjoy the rest of her wedding day. It was her wedding day, and he just should have kind of played it off until later and tried to enjoy his wedding day. But it didn't work out that way. And so we have to wait and see at the tell-all, is this really going to last? I don't think so. So the tell-all is going to be up today. Tonight is the tell-all. And so this week I will be talking about the tell-all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. But make a comment below and tell me about what you think about all the couples getting married.